So for those of you, a lot of you don't know me, my name is Bob Brown. I work for the American Federation of Teachers out of Washington, D.C. I have the good fortune of living in West Virginia all of my life. My total assignment for the AFT is to be the project manager for this incredible initiative called Reconnecting McDowell. That's what I do every day of my life and have for the last 3.5 years or so. So thank you for the opportunity for me to present to you tonight. Thank you for all the community members who came out. A special welcome to our guest from Maine. Thank you. Welcome. So before I start, how about, so I will know everyone, we start with everyone just standing in a quick introduction of who you are and what you do, and just a very quick introduction. Just about 8 or 10 minutes and give you a little overview of what's been going on with Reconnecting McDowell. Some of you probably don't even know what Reconnecting McDowell is. So I'm going to give you a little overview, about 8 or 10 minutes, then I'm going to take some questions, and that's it. We're just trying to keep the community informed about all the things that are happening in the county. So I mentioned when I started, I worked for the American Federation of Teachers and have now for over 30 years. And about 4 years ago, my boss, the national president of the AFT, was in town, and then Governor Joe Manchin and his wife Gail hosted a dinner for her while she was in town at the governor's mansion. And while we were talking over dinner, most of you know that Gail Manchin also serves on the West Virginia State Board of Education. And at that time, the West Virginia Board of Education had taken over McDowell County Schools for a host of reasons, not the least of which was early on in that tenure, there were some people over the board office that probably were not doing a good job, Kathy, of running the system.
I didn't hear that.
I hear you. But at any rate, they kept it too long and they didn't do anything with it. They took over the system, and frankly, after 10 years, the system was not functioning any better than it was when the state board took it over.
That's what I heard.
That's right. So Gail Manchin said to my boss, Randy Weingarten, let's put together a partnership and see if we can work to try to see if we can help the school system in McDowell County. So Randy had never heard of McDowell County, and she sent me down to sort of put together a white paper on McDowell County, and I did. And Gail, being Gail Manchin, is pretty persistent, and after 3 or 4 phone calls and trips to D.C., she convinced Randy to form a partnership called Reconnecting McDowell. Kathy, I think you were probably up there when we kicked it off,
yes.
And then Governor Tomlin's conference room there at the Capitol. And at that time, we had about 40 partners. Today, we have over 125 partners, everything from Fortune 500 companies like Cisco and IBM and AT&T, all the way down to and including little mom and pop, 2-person operation nonprofits here in McDowell County, the faith community here in McDowell County, the school system here, private partners, public partners, et cetera, et cetera. Our primary goal is to try to improve the quality of the educational system and the quality of learning that takes place in the schools in McDowell County. We know that to do that, you can't just say we're going to hire better teachers and have better test scores. That's not going to happen. We have to address the issues that children come to school with, whether they come to school hungry or whether they come to school from a home where the parents have been fighting over drugs all night, if their parents are even around. Not every student in McDowell County is as fortunate as Matthew and Rebecca to live in a home where they have a stable environment. 48% of the students in McDowell County school system live in a home with neither biological parent. So the structure, the home structure is broken down. And Kathy's been working at this for years, and she could give a lecture on this about what we need to do to try to shore up the structure. That's some of the things we're doing. We've had, I think, some pretty incredible successes. We were able to convince some companies to come in and do some nice things in McDowell County. One of the primary big ticket items we're working on, we actually bought an old building in downtown Welch, and we now have hired an architect and a developer. We're going to tear the building down and build a new apartment complex we're calling a teacher village, because one of the issues we're challenged with here in McDowell County is we cannot get teachers to come here and teach because they can't find, or so they say, they can't find adequate housing. if I'm from Kanawha County or McDowell County or Wyoming County, I can come here and live and teach. But if I'm from Philadelphia, I probably won't feel comfortable living up in the head of a holler somewhere. I probably want to live in an apartment, and that's what we're trying to fix. So that's a $6 million budget we're working on. We're out on the fundraising trail. We've had some incredible success early on raising money. We're going to finance $2 million of it, get $2 million in tax credits, and we're raising $2 million. So we've got, Kathy, we're like about $600,000 in the bank right now. Some nice folks with a lot of money have given us money. Another thing that we were able to do that I'm really proud of is we worked with Chantel Communications, and they wired up, or at least there's access to wire up 10,000 homes in the county to high-speed internet. McDowell County has higher speed internet than I can get in my home in Charleston. I'm jealous. You guys have higher speeds than I can get in Charleston.
You must be on Frontier like us in Welsh.
I am. I'm on Frontier.
It sucks.
After that, we were able to get a nice grant from Appalachian Regional Commission to outfit every middle school student in McDowell County with a free laptop, not for school, but for home to use. And then we partnered with Chantel. They gave some pretty incredible steep discounts for folks who had students in school to wire up to the internet. So now we're pretty pleased and proud about that. At any rate, I don't want to bore you with everything going on. One of the other incredible pieces that we're working on right now is right here in this area, the community school that Kathy and Greg talked about at Southside. I started out by saying that you can bring the best teachers in America to Southside K-8 school down here, but it's not going to make any difference in test scores until we start to deal with the issues that kids come to school with. Consequently, we were able to pass a piece of legislation in Charleston and then get a grant from the West Virginia Department of Education to start the first community school in West Virginia is at Southside K-8. And by community school, I mean a school that doesn't just provide education. That's important. But it's going to have a health clinic, a dental clinic. It's going to provide emotional wraparound services to children and families. DHHR services at the school to families. We're in the process of converting the old Big Creek High School gym into a community center. We have, right now, $100,000 worth of brand new exercise equipment donated by Bodies by Jake. Unfortunately, they put it in a building that was condemned by the fire marshal, so we can't get in and use it yet. We're trying to fix that. We're in the process. I just had a couple meetings today, and for Greg and Kathy, who are on the steering committee out there, we're trying to figure out whether it's best to operate that gymnasium with the school system or to do it with the 501c3. We have funding lined up to finally get the HVAC fixed and to get it up to code with the fire marshal. The question then becomes, where do we find the money to operate the center? But at any rate, we're on the right track. It's a nice building. It's greatly needed in the community, and we want to put a health clinic in it. We want to put the performing arts, artists in residence in it. We can get money for that. And we want to make it safe so that people can come in and use the exercise equipment. But having said all that, this is really about meeting the needs of the community. And we've been to every community, major community in McDowell County, telling our story, but not just telling our story, but asking for input from the community, because it doesn't make sense for us to try to do something if it doesn't have buy-in from the community. And if people don't want it, we can do the best thing, Kathy, that's happened since sliced bread, but if people don't want it and don't think they need it, it's not going to do any good. So consequently, we go around and ask for community input. So having talked now for 8 minutes and 50 seconds, I'm going to take questions.